How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me today. And today we are back in the Gladiator, and I have another one for all of you guys that are just getting into your first Jeep, or just purchasing a brand new Jeep, or maybe you just want to find out exactly what this video is all about and what you guys or what I am telling you guys you should have. Now, this is not accessories. These aren't going to be phone mounts. These aren't going to be things like that. Nothing that has to do with the interior or anything like that. These are going to be more for basically making sure that you're not going to get stuck anywhere. This is going to be making sure that you can save yourself in case anything happens out there, and you can get your Jeep home and you and yourself home, because a lot of us, we don't just use these for daily driving. Me myself, I use my Jeeps for off-roading, but even if you don't use your Jeeps for off-roading, I'm sure that you go out and take some adventures with your family, take some adventures with your friends, go to the beach, go to some hiking spots, just go to different areas. And I'm guessing that wherever you guys live, there's probably more than one season. And if there isn't, well then, lucky you. But for all of us here that have to deal with winter and stuff like that, this is definitely going to be helpful, because it's definitely going to be something that's going to keep you safe and keep you on the road, and make sure that you can always get yourself, your family, your friends, and others around you home, and that you're just always ready for anything that gets thrown at you. Now, this isn't just for Jeep people. I'm pretty sure that if you have any vehicle, this can apply to you, but more so for Jeep people, because it's a utilitarian vehicle. It's useful. You can use it for tons of different things, and most people that buy Jeeps want to use them and want to be able to get full use out of them. So this is going to help you do that. So let's go and let's stop beating around the bush, and let's see exactly what the hell I'm talking about. What is it that I'm talking about? Well, everything that I am talking about either fits in this bag or in the back seat, underneath the seat. If you have a Jeep, you also have room underneath the seat. It's a little bit different than in the Gladiator, but you still do have some kind of storage. Now, this is a pretty decent sized bag. Like, it's pretty much the size of a good sized backpack. I don't expect everybody to use everything that I have. Like I said, I use my Jeeps for off-roading, so I have a little bit extra stuff in here. So your bag might even be like half the size of this, if not even a third. But this is just the bare essentials of stuff that I think everybody should have in their Jeep to keep themselves safe and be ready for pretty much anything that gets thrown at you. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is this guy, and this is basically a set of jumper cables. I recommend that everybody always has a set of jumper cables in their vehicle, no matter what. Oh, you hear that? It's coming. It's nice and sunny on this side, but she's definitely coming. So let's try to make this quick. So jumper cables, everybody's got jumper cables. They know how they work, they know how to use them, hopefully. If you don't, then definitely find out how to use them before you use them. Yeah, this is a booster. So basically what this does is it has your leads for the kick battery on each side. You can take them off and attach them to your battery, and this basically will allow you to boost your vehicle or another vehicle without having to attach two vehicles together. You can basically be self-sufficient. Say you wake up in the morning, in a winter morning, and your battery's dead, you can boost it yourself. Say you go out to the beach, somebody left the light on in the back seat of your vehicle, you can boost it yourself. Whatever the case is, you have that ability. And a lot of these are really cool, because this one even has a built-in battery power bank. So you can actually plug in all kinds of different stuff, like your phone or your laptop or whatever it may be, into here. So that's an added feature. And these are great for, like I just said, if you get stuck somewhere, you don't have to rely on anybody else. You're able to get yourself home, or whoever else it may be that may be stuck, and you're on your way. So now let's put this to the side. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is straps. And you guys are probably wondering, well, I don't go off-roading, why do I need straps? Well, trust me, straps come in handy for many situations. I suggest getting yourself a nice thick toe strap. This one was only like 50 bucks on Amazon. It's rated for well over my vehicle weight, and it's rated for well over any vehicle weight that you're going to encounter on the road. I believe this one's like something like 35,000 pounds, like braking limit. Working limit is not 35,000 pounds. Working limit is probably going to be closer to like around 8, but that is a lot more than this weighs, and a lot more than a lot of vehicles on the road weigh. You'll be able to pretty much pull anybody out if you have to, or they can pull you out. Now you're thinking, I don't go off-road, why do I need a strap? Well, strap can come in handy for many instances. Say you go to the beach with your family, you run into some deep snow, or you run into some deep sand, sorry. you might get stuck and you might actually need to get pulled out. Or say you run into somebody else that got stuck, you might need to get them pulled out. And it's just that much better to be prepared and have a strap that costs you 40 bucks, throw it in the back. Better to have it when you need it than to not have it. So basically, a strap and one soft shackle is basically the minimum of all you need. Soft shackle is great because if you're not like a Jeep, or if you're pulling someone that isn't a Jeep, that doesn't have recovery hooks right on the front and the back, you can throw this around their vehicle quickly and easily and get yourself or them out. And same thing, these are pretty cheap. I think these are like 30 bucks, 40 bucks on Amazon. Just look at the reviews. There's a lot of cheap brands out there for straps and for all kinds of recovery equipment. Make sure you do your research, do your homework, but definitely I recommend getting yourself something like this. Next thing that I'm going to say is cargo management. Now, cargo management is important. Whether it be you get yourself some bungee cords like this that I'm using over there, or you get yourself a nice big net so that you can actually secure your cargo or secure whatever it is that you're riding around with, or you get yourself a heavy duty set of ratchet straps. And ratchet straps are great because they'll let you tie down any kind of load, even if you have an awkward shape of a load, because you'll be able to use more than one strap, tie it down and get it really secure. More secure than either of these two items, but definitely they do have their place. These are great for if you're securing items just so that they're not rattling around or moving around in your trunk. This is great for if you're actually hauling something heavy, or if you or somebody else has a breakdown on the trail, if you do off-road. These are great to put things back in their place. Say you break a control arm or some kind of a steering component. This is great to tie things up just so that you can get yourself safely off the trail. I have gone through an entire set of 4 in probably just over a year of other people breaking down and me giving them the straps to use, and trust me, they definitely come in handy. So I definitely recommend some kind of cargo management, because you never know what you're going to get. You might have one day where you go and you have to help somebody move something. You might have a day where something awkward shows up and you need to grab it, or whatever the case is. It's always nice to have cargo management. Even if you're just doing groceries, you don't want your shit rolling around everywhere and you want everything to kind of stay in its place. That's going to be perfect for that. So that takes care of that pile. Now let me move all of this so I have some more room to show you guys the next set of stuff. And next in my bag of tricks, first aid kit. Now, as you can see, this thing isn't very big. It's probably about the size of maybe, I don't know, like a large 2 water bottles, or even 2 small size water bottles side by side. This will help you out a ton. Say you go out and you go hiking, you go to the beach, you go on any kind of adventure, anything happens, you're always prepared. It's always better to have something like this in the car and not need it than need it and not have it. So definitely I recommend that. Next, along with the safety, is a fire extinguisher. Now I know this box is really beat up. That's because it got a little bit wet, so it looks a little bit worse for wear, but the fire extinguisher inside is still good. So fire extinguisher, these are great. Even if you have a brand new vehicle like this, things can happen, whether you be driving down the road and somebody else needs it or you need it. Trust me, I've gone through more of these than I thought I would ever use in my life in my vehicles, and luckily all my vehicles are still around. I've never burnt one down because I've been prepared. This is also $30. Everything I'm showing you, except for the battery booster there, is pretty much 30, 40, 50 bucks. It's not something that's going to break the bank. It's something that is going to save you and definitely keep you safe and keep you prepared. And for the amount of money you're spending, I think it's well worth it. So let's put that away as well. Next, now this one is a little bit optional. Not everybody will be prepared, or yeah, basically not everybody's going to be prepared to do this. Not everybody's going to be ready to do this. Not everybody's going to be willing to do this. But you can pick up a tire repair kit, something like this, for about $10 to $12. I bought this for $12 Canadian here, so you can probably pick this up for under $10 on Amazon or anywhere else. Any hardware store pretty much carries stuff like this. And what this is a tire patch kit. It's a tubeless tire repair kit. If you have a hole or a nail in your tire, not in the sidewall, if you do have one in the sidewall, it is not recommended to be patching it. But if you have one anywhere on the tread here, you can definitely take your tire off, or even with the tire on, depending on where it is, especially on a Jeep, you have so much room, and you can patch your tire. For 12 bucks, you get 5 of these plugs. These plugs will definitely save you a lot of time and a lot of worry, because you won't even have to take your tire off most of the time to get yourself back and running. And you don't need a big one like this. This one was from my other Jeep because I actually go off-roading. So you can see I've got tons and tons of plugs, because you never know what's going to happen out there. I might rip a giant hole in my tire. I might come across a bunch of people that have holes in their tires, and we are just prepared for that. So trust me, if you guys have never changed a tire, go out there and learn, because it will save you a lot of hassle when you do need to go and do it. It's not hard to do, but I definitely recommend having something like this if you have the ability to do it. Now, not everybody will have the ability because of whatever physical limitations. Maybe some people are a bit older and they can't bend that much and they don't want to be screwing around with stuff like this. I totally understand. This is something that is totally optional, but totally useful and worth the money, every single penny. Trust me, if you can, I would definitely recommend picking that up and having something like that in your vehicle. Now, everybody should be able to change their own tire. If, for whatever reason, like I just mentioned, you cannot change your own tire from physical limitations or whatever the case may be, nobody's judging you. If you can't do it, you can't do it. But if you can do it, I recommend getting yourself a bottle jack. Now, why would I recommend a bottle jack? If you guys have ever used the jack that comes inside of any vehicle, especially a Jeep, I actually laughed pretty damn hard when I saw the jack in here when I picked my Jeep up, because that guy right there, it's probably the worst designed jack you can use. Whenever you pull one of those out, you always have to be careful, because they love to fold. They love to break down on you. They love to fold. And if your vehicle's in the air and you don't have a wheel on, that's the last thing you need. This is a lot easier, a lot quicker, and a lot safer to use. And again, costs you like 40 bucks to grab one. This one is from my other Jeep, my off-roader Jeep. So it is a bigger one. It's a 12 ton, so I'm pretty much ready for anything. But for something like this, or even a regular Wrangler, all you need is really a 4-ton jack that's going to lift more than you need, because you're never going to lift the entire vehicle's weight with just this jack. So it's already overkill. And trust me, this will be much easier and much quicker and much safer than using the jack that comes with your vehicle 100% of the time. One more thing that ties in with that is an air pump. If you can, definitely pick up an air pump. Even if you're not going out there and changing your own tires, if you live in a place like me where we get winter, whenever the temperature drops a certain amount, the pressure will change in your tires, and you might even wake up one day, turn the vehicle on, and have that little warning indicator light on your dash saying low tire pressure. And you're wondering why. Nothing happened overnight. I didn't go anywhere. Well, it's because of the temperature. And if you ever need to go off-road, or if you ever go in the sand and you want to air down, now you have the ability to air back up without having to trek all the way to a gas station or a service station or a garage or something like that. Something like this is great. They also offer many varieties. This one is one with battery leads, so you can see I clamp mine right to the battery. But you can get these that plug into a cigarette lighter. You can get wireless ones. Milwaukee makes them, so you can get a Milwaukee one. That's what I'm actually going to be upgrading to and putting into this guy right here. This is also from my other Jeep, but something like this is definitely useful and will save you a lot of grief when you need it. Again, these ones are a little bit more expensive. Something like this is probably closer to $100, $150 depending on where you get it. And the more fancy that you get, the more expensive they get. But you can get yourself a cheap tire inflator, and something like that will definitely save your day, especially if you're ready and available, or ready and able to put on one of these plugs. Then this will be definitely necessary. And there's 2 items left on my list of 10 items. So far, I think that I'd say 80% of these items would be useful to every single person on the road, no matter what you drive, whether it be a Jeep or it be any vehicle, whether it be this, that, or anything. The last 2 things in my bag of tricks are a flashlight, because you never know when you need a flashlight. Whether it be fixing something, changing a tire, just checking something out, maybe you heard a weird noise, whatever, like underneath while you were driving, or whatever the case may be, this is definitely helpful and it will definitely come in handy. Having a flashlight is always useful. Sure, you have one on your cell phone, but trust me, when you have a real flashlight, it makes a difference. The one on your cell phone is great for emergencies, but this is actually going to be useful. So trust me, having one of these in the glove box or in your tool bag or anywhere is definitely going to save your day. And number 10, this one is also sort of optional, sort of I recommend for everybody, but having some tools. So as you can see, this is just a breaker bar, just a simple handle, doesn't have a ratchet in it. This is for taking off my tires, because say I ever need to change a tire, I don't want to be playing around with that L-shaped handle that comes in the Jeep, because those are not fun to use. They are a pain to use, and you probably will be there struggling with it. So I definitely recommend picking something like this up. I literally got this for like 25 bucks. They're not expensive. You don't have to break the bank, and all you really need with this is one socket, which I have in there, and that's all you really need to take off your tires and put your tires back on. This, and you're off to the races. You never have to think twice. And believe me, you'll probably be able to change 2 or 3 tires by the time the person even gets their vehicle in the air with these two than if you were using the jack and the handle that came inside the vehicle. I can almost guarantee you that. Now, the last thing is part of the tools. Get yourself just something simple. Get yourself a pair of pliers. Get yourself a screwdriver with like a magazine in the back. Hold on, I might need 2 hands for this one. Basically, it's just got bits in it. That's what the magazine part is. Get yourself a bit driver so that you can basically do whatever you need to. As you can see, this one's got a couple flat heads, a couple of Phillips heads, and a couple Allen key heads. So basically you're ready for anything, and your Jeep will thank you when you actually have to do something and something is rattling and you need to put something back together, because there's a lot of different pieces and parts and exposed pieces on these. And especially if you start doing mods, bring yourself a couple tools, because you never know when one of your mods is going to start trying to come off on you or come undone, because you never know. Things that aren't built into the Jeep or that aren't factory don't always agree with the Jeep, and well, it's better to have some tools with you than not. And even if your Jeep is totally factory, you've never changed anything, you don't plan on changing anything, having a set of pliers and a screwdriver with a few bits in the glove box would definitely be handy in a lot of occasions, and it's not really going to hurt you to throw something like that in your Jeep. Now, like I said, probably 80% of these items will apply to everybody. The few things, maybe like the bottle jack, the tire repair kit, maybe even the tire pump, might not be for everybody. But I think every single person should have a fire extinguisher, a first aid kit, some kind of a tow rope, some sort of cargo management, and a battery booster, or at least cables. 100%, everybody should have that in their vehicle. And those are always items that everyone overlooks. Because trust me, I know I have, because half of these are from my other Jeep. And I can tell you right now that I can use pretty much everything out here at least once in the summer season if I have it with me. So definitely useful to have it. And I 100% recommend going out and picking yourselves up a nice kit like this, building your own kit, making it to your own needs, to your own specifications. Like I said, you don't need to get a big old bag like this. You can get yourself a few items here and there. You don't need to have straps and ratchet straps and the net. You don't have to have everything. You can go out and get yourself the one that fits for you. So that's why I'm saying it's not going to look this large, it's not going to look this big and bulky, because it's going to be personalized to your use. Well guys, I think that's about going to cover it for today. Honestly, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was useful for you, and trust me, I know that I overlooked a lot of these items, so that's why I made this video, because it would have been helpful to me. So hopefully it's helpful to you, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Now, if you guys do want to see some off-roading and some mods, because I do take this thing and I do take my yellow one that I have, if you haven't seen that one, if you're new to the channel, both of these guys go off-roading. So definitely, if you want to see some off-roading content or some mods, follow the channel, jump down there, hit that subscribe button, costs you nothing. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. So until then guys, ride safe out there. Peace.